Some people may understand the concept of minerals, but for those who don't, they are vital for every single function in our bodies. Your heartbeat, your heart cannot beat without minerals. Tell us really quickly just a list of the top things that minerals are so important for. What functions?
Yeah, absolutely. So your thoughts, I mentioned like in my own case, one of the things I was really deficient in was manganese. And most people are like, what is that? That is really connected to thinking. So is trace minerals that most people are super unfamiliar with, like germanium, which currently the FDA won't even let us put a supplement with germanium out there right now because they don't understand the importance of it. But that helps with oxygen utilization and things like that. And we have a look at it, at things like that with the test. But other things. I mean, God, your brain, your muscle contractions, your sex drive, your hormones, everything, literally the building blocks. I mean, you think fat and minerals, and that equals hormones. And we're like running around like, hey, why is this number really low? Or why is this number really high? They're trying their best and they're doing their best. And I get that. Like there's so much that we're up against. And your good friend, Zach Bush, is a big proponent of regenerative agriculture. And that is such an important thing to focus on. And yet, short term, the soil's not getting fixed today or tomorrow or next Thursday. So like we've got to do what I consider a short-term solution, which is what we're doing. And then the longer-term solution is let's re-engineer our topsoil so that it's increasing instead of decreasing, so that way we have nutrients for anyone listening. Like, well, why are you talking about topsoil suddenly? Right. You went from minerals to topsoil. Listen, folks, it's all connected, right? The tomato you're eating or the steak you're eating has, roughly half of the nutrients it had in it, 50, 60 years ago. So
right.
I wish that wasn't the case, but that is, so certainly eat organic. We're not telling you to just shut your eyes and like just eat whatever. No, that still matters, but get away from things that are sprayed with glyphosate. It really is what you're putting in your body, but also what you're removing, like what you're saying no to. Like, I will not do this. I will not eat anything that is GMO or sprayed with things that just are super harmful for our entire ecosystem. Not just the plants, but the runoff into the rivers, streams, lakes. I mean, everything.
So. Yeah. Two things to understand is that normally the whole point of eating food is because the food is coming from the ground and with the little roots, right? It's grabbing the nutrients from the soil and it's pulling them into the plant, which then creates a form for us to absorb, right? Because we can't just go eat minerals out of the ground. We can't digest them or absorb them. So the plant makes them able to sort of turn them into a form that we can digest and absorb. But our soil is so malnourished and literally barely living. And then there's people like Zach Bush who have come on that are regenerating it. But normally we're eating foods that don't even have the minerals in them. So then when we eat the foods, our bodies are going, hey, I'm still missing like a whole bunch of nutrients. And so that's when the cravings start to happen, is because our body is not getting what it needs. And our body is so intelligent, it's going to keep eating till we get those nutrients, whether that's whatever that is, which is why the hair testing is so awesome, because you can see what you're deficient in. The trick is that a lot of these minerals that are out there are not absorbing into the body. They're not made in a form that our body can recognize, which is the second half of the problem. So once again, we may take minerals, but our bodies can't even utilize them. And that's why I love Barton's product. He's got a line of them, but I started taking the magnesium, and just with that alone, my sleep, even though my sleep has been decent, but now you can feel the difference going into this deep, deep state of sleep. Just even getting sleep is so good for cravings because your body is getting the rest and the recovery it needs. And that's where I started noticing. You wake up, there's been multiple times where I'm like, I don't even need coffee. This is bizarre. Your body actually gets what it needs because it's actually getting into the body. And that's why I had to bring him on, because if we can get our minerals baseline foundational health in our bodies, not only are we going to feel better, we're going to crave the foods less, we're going to kick ass in the day, we're going to do all the things we could do. We can transform our lives. We can help our personal mission transform the world, be a better person, be a better mother, be a better father, be a better anything. When our bodies are in sync and connected and feeling amazing, life changes. And that minerals are the baseline. It's so important. So I'm rant over, but does that make sense?
Beautiful. Beautifully said.
I'm kind of a big fan of this whole thing, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, so am I. It's mission critical. You know, we also give back to charity water, and that is another mission out there. Like, people should not be dying of thirst, and you know, there's so many things around the world. I bring it up right now because you're talking about root causes.
Yeah.
And having unclean water is a root cause for infections, viruses, tumor growth, you know, just all sorts of just remaining in poverty. I mean, you name it. But you know, doctors, for example, that it's great that they give up their vacation as a surgeon and fly across the world and work, you know, to take out facial tumors. But what if that person just had clean water and they weren't drinking from something that we would consider sewage? They wouldn't have developed that in the first place. So I'm always thinking as an engineer about root causes.
I love that his dreams came back. So it's true that to say that if we fix mineral deficiency in one area or all areas, that we see things start to change in other areas, not just craving. So for example, I grabbed my little mineral bottle. This is magnesium by Upgraded Formulas right here. And it says calm, focus, and deep sleep. So with, for example, let's take magnesium. You're burning through stress all day and you're not sleeping and you can't stay focused. Look at the three right there, and cravings. Like, usually I think when people are craving chocolate, magnesium is inside chocolate, right? So really we're actually craving the magnesium inside the chocolate. So when we take a magnesium supplement that actually absorbs into the body, then we actually stop craving, even though it's dark chocolate without the sugar is really beneficial from an antioxidant standpoint, which I love. I eat like the 100% grittiest, darkest
Same
chocolate ever, and I feel amazing, and that will kick your cravings too because of magnesium. But it's just coming around to show that is what's happening. And then when we also get our sleep, we wake up, we feel amazing. We're not going to be craving the foods because our hormones, our ghrelin and leptin, are going to be chill, and we're going to be less hungry. Because I know when I don't sleep, I'm always just looking for food to balance out my hormones, right? So it's like this cascade effect. Like, what other things are magnesium, the functions for just magnesium?
On a cellular level, to produce ATP, you need magnesium. So it really, truly, that's what I mean by focus. A lot of people aren't making enough. So if you picture their brain, imagine just seeing a kind of a scan, and there's a certain amount of electrical activity. And now when the magnesium, the potassium, the sodium, all of your electrolytes that produce electricity on a cellular level, whenever those are balanced, like per our test and in console, you can kind of get a good picture on where you are and what you need to do. But when that happens, imagine picturing a brain and then imagining it lighting up. And you're like, oh, well, I don't feel wired or jittery, but I feel focused. I slept well. I'm not craving things. I'm here in the moment, as long as you're remembering to breathe, you know, every 30 minutes or so. I set a timer, and I find that's really, really effective. You can get like a chimer app. It's pretty cool. But anyway, you can look up a long list, but over 700 enzymatic functions is what magnesium supports. And therefore, over 700 things in your body are not working correctly if you don't have enough.